Hello, my name is Antos, and today I'm going to review a new follow focus system. This one's produced by 24 Shots. It's called the Silencer Pro, and it's a remote trigger controlled follow focus system. The advantage of having a trigger operated follow focus is that one person can operate it, and not only that, but that person can operate it even while they're, for example, operating a gimbal like this one, or even a Steadicam, or maybe a shoulder rig. So you don't actually have to have your whole hand on, let's say, on basically a follow focus wheel. Just one finger, which allows you then to hold the handle still. You can just, with that one finger, you can operate the focus. And that's what makes it great for especially gimbals. Now this one, this is the whole sort of setup, the kit that I got, which is designed specifically for gimbals. The company sells different variations. The prices start from $480 all the way up to $875 for the kit that I have up here. Now this kit will work on a gimbal, will work on a shoulder rig, on pretty much any setup out there. There's a Steadicam, it could be even on a tripod. Also, it's very responsive, but at the same time the motors are very quiet. Here's the actual motor. There's like a small one that I put up here on the gimbal. Now this whole kit up here, let me just open it up. It actually comes with two different motors. They're both have the same amount of power and operate just as quietly. There's also an adapter up here that comes with the kit that will allow you to use 15 or 19 millimeter rails. Like I said, you can use this longer motor, this shorter one. It comes with the charger, and the whole system is kind of built around this control box, which I have up here. The control box itself, as you can see up here, it already has rails up here, attachment. Now you can take that off, you can replace it with something else. You can use this control box as a base. For example, you can put it underneath your camera. It has 1/4 inch and 3/8 of an inch screw attachments on the bottom for your tripod and for the camera. So for example, you can put the camera on top of that. You can also, if you want to, it comes with this kind of a base plate, which you can put the camera on this, put the rails through here, and then you can put this, let's say, on your hot mount on the camera, or put it even further underneath this. There's a lot of different ways that you can configure it. It comes with lots and lots of different parts that I'm not even going to get into all of it, but pretty much it's kind of like, I'm going to compare it to like a Lego piece, for example, kit. So if you're a kid who ever had a chance to play with Lego, you'll know that the cool thing about that Lego is that you can sort of really customize it and you can create things that you never thought would be possible. The same sort of thing applies to this follow focus system. It comes, like I said, with lots of different pieces, different, for example, rings that will pretty much allow you to put the system onto any lens, as long as there's some kind of a ring that you have on your lens for adjusting the focus. You'll be able to customize that lens so that it takes this system. You can use the standard, cinema, for example, lenses like I have up here, and you can use the cinema gear to actually control the focus, or you can use these other kind of a system that the company created, which has this kind of a tension string sort of you put around your lens, and then that will actually allow you to pull the focus. Like I said, lots of different pieces, lots of different ways that you can configure it. This is the sort of the setup that works for me, especially when I'm operating a gimbal. So like I said, I have the follow focus up here. As you can see, it's very small, it's just this little motor. Then I take that motor basically and the cable, I run it to the control box, plug it in there. And then from the control box, I just have another wire running to the trigger, which is up here. Now the trigger, very simple, it allows you to attach it many different ways, but best way is probably to attach it to some kind of a handle. So let's say a shoulder rig, which I actually use this system with a shoulder rig. As you can see up here, I was getting a shot of sort of a film noir kind of a lighting setup, and over there I needed to move around a lot, and having the Silencer Pro came in really handy, so that I never really had to worry about, like I said, whether it's finding the focus wheel or just even missing the focus. I could be on the go, moving around with the whole shoulder setup, and then just with one finger, again, like I said, adjust the focus. The focus system is what's cool about it is that it's an analog trigger system. So the faster or the further out you move it, the faster the focus is going to go. And so if you move it just a little bit gradually, you can get really fine focus pulls. And just to sort of illustrate right now, let me maybe start this up. So here we just have a power switch. Another thing that's really cool about the system is that the control box itself has already a battery built in. It's a rechargeable LiPo battery, I believe, inside. You can also, I think, put in other batteries in case you do run out while you're filming. But the battery itself, I mean, I've used it for a few hours, didn't have any problems. And now, as you can see, it's powered on. And just with the one finger here, I'm able to adjust the focus. You can see it moving. And as you can see, I can go really, for example, like really fine adjustments. And at the same time, I can go really fast. Now, if you go really fast, you might start hearing the motor a little bit. It's still very quiet, so I wouldn't really worry about it. But it's, like I said, if you're doing, you know, you're almost never going to pull focus all the way at that fast. But if you're doing, you know, just a normal kind of focus moves like up here, you cannot hear the motor at all. And another cool thing is you don't have to really, this system is not like some of the other wireless, you know, follow focus systems where you have to sort of calibrate it with each lens. This one you don't have to worry, because when it reaches the end basically of the focus ring on your lens, you don't have to worry about this system actually ripping your ring basically you know, off or damaging your lens. Because what this thing will do is it has like a little tension spring, so once it reaches at the end, you can see it just kind of spins in one place and will not basically damage the lens. It will not keep on pulling on the gears, which is something that, you know, a lot of, especially wireless follow focus systems, you have to sort of, it takes longer to set up, because each time you switch a lens, you gotta, or each time you detach the follow focus from the lens, you gotta calibrate it, you know, and that's again done for safety so that you don't damage the lens when you reach the end of the focus pull. But with this, you don't have to worry about it, because it just has like a nice little spring that just when it reaches that spot where it feels that basically the lens will not go any further, it just stops. So it doesn't apply too much pressure on the lens. So really cool system, and it really makes it you know, makes it a blessing when you're using a gimbal by yourself. For example, I used this setup that you see right now with the you know, the All Steady 6 Pro gimbal and the Silencer Pro follow focus system to get this shot right here. So as you can see, you know, we're using this whole setup and the Silencer Pro, I was able to get a pretty good focus throughout this whole shot. This is just one long take. Now there might be some moments here and there where sometimes I'm out of focus, that it's not the fault of the system itself. It's just, yeah, that could happen just as well if I was using a traditional hands-on follow focus system. It's just, especially when you have no focus marks and you're kind of moving in and out, it's gonna take a lot of practice basically to get really good at always hitting the focus perfectly, especially when you're shooting with like a cinema lens like here, with a, you know, very fast lens which has very narrow depth of field. So that's just a matter of practice. But the system itself works great. Like I said, allows one person to operate the focus silently. It's very easy. All it takes is one finger. And like I said, the system is very modular. You can really sort of configure it and set it up to different kind of you know, configurations, whether it's a shoulder rig, tripod. You can even use it on let's say a crane. It comes with an extension for the cable for the motor. And like I said, it's just a lot of different possibilities. Really cool system, very easy to set up, very easy to use. So if you guys are looking for a way to, especially if you're using a gimbal, these days a lot of people are getting gimbals, but then I know the number one problem that they run into is how can they actually adjust the focus without having to put their hands on there and basically then throw the gimbal, you know, out of whack. So if you're wondering how to do that, this is probably one of the simplest way to do it, especially if you have only one person operating. Yeah, and anyways, if you guys want more information about where to get this gimbal, or what, you know, if you want to see some of the other like test shots that I did with it, as well as for example, if you want to see other equipment reviews, filmmaking tutorials, I have all of that and a lot more on my website, so please check it out, and that's again at tomantosfilms.com. Anyways, thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.